on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
So much of this game is still mental, still psychological. Yeah, we just saw a big-time run right there, but you have to believe he was dreaming about this last night in his hotel room before this one, thinking, hey, first time I touch it, let's go for some big yardage and set a tone. That's exactly what he got done.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now Foreman. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Foreman. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Ryan. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Goff. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Goff on third down. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. A nice gain at 21 yards.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing
And now he's going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Matt Ryan, and that's a safety. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Brandon, that was not a highlight play for the offense. But how about the previous play? A big run? They're used to trading that, especially if you're a Hall of Fame runner. Big run, maybe not so much on the next one, but the big ones add up over time.
And he'll find his target, Woods. It's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The Buffalo defense does its job, and it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they've got it here with a first down. Play action. Ryan. Gronkowski got it on the crossing route. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unset.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Aaron Donald in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
A carry for Foreman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he's going to be 5-yard line. Samson Abukum, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at about the 32. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Jerry Hughes. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now gone. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the play.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for gone. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Goff now to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Boy, that's some kind of effort. When he caught it, I doubted if he could get there. Knew it was going to be close, but credit him. Really good effort.
How about the rack on that play, the run after catch? But most of the time we think of it as just being an open field and picking up yardage. Sometimes you have to be real physical in order to gain the yardage you need for a first down.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was end from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call the timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Again, the offense will stay out there. They've converted once on this drive. What can they do here on 4th down? They go ahead and snap it. Gone. They got a man. It's Woods. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They opt to go for it, and they get it. 1st and goal after a pickup of 5. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Goff now looking to throw. The quick slant caught. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Gerald Everett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Well, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. They'll run with Foreman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. After the run by Foreman, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. Throw left side complete. It's Cole. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we come upon halftime here in Southern California with the Rams on top. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Another carry now for Gurley. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Rams on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here we go, bro. Here we go.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They pick up 12 on the play there, and They move the chains. Gurley looking for a repeat of his 2017 performance. He's off to a good start as the Rams come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Gurley. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Kill!
They'll toss it to Breida. And it's a fumble. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Samson Abukum in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try to keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. Now it's Gurley. Good move by Gurley. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
He's going to get it running right. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking...
And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Here's a toss coming right. And he will get into the end zone. So the lead stretches from 9 up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Now Ryan on second down. And that is incomplete. Unable to get it to Gronkowski that time. And it's 3rd and short.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And this is caught. It's pulled in by Gronkowski. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. Time for a break. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. And a big loss is here as he's taken down. Samson Abukum in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. On second down, here's Ryan. And the pressure gets to him again. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Third and long, it's Ryan. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off with great anticipation, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, and they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Now they'll pitch it back to Gurley. Good move by Gurley. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the quick handoff, it's Juszczyk. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now Gurley. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and we have done in the NFL. Miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for L.A., they move a step closer to 500 as their record.
Honorable C notes.
Yeah.
Buddha
Yeah.
bless me.
Chill.